Hey, welcome to Barbershop Clips. This is a channel where you get to see really cool moments from the barbershop. I know the episodes are really long, but you can come here and enjoy really cool moments in short time as well. I hope you enjoy. And these 1.1 crore people are, what are they borrowing for? You're saying 1% is consumer durable finance. What is the other 99%?
They borrow for four things, primarily. So when I say 1% consumer durable, I was talking about at the store 1%. They still borrow for some purchase which are linked to consumer durable, but 1% are the one where I go to the store and finance them. They borrow primarily for four reasons.
Okay.
Number one, there are a set of customers who have a lot of recurring needs. They borrow like every 3 months, 6 months. They are primarily, 80% of them are small business self-employed customers. And the recurring needs is almost like 40% of my needs. Who are these customers? If you have this tempo which is going on, abhi main aa raha tha, fir bhi tempo dekh rahe the. So this tempo basically go and give material to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper always has this dichotomy: should I take 1 lakh ka amount, or 1,20,000 ka, or 1,50,000 ka? But for that 50,000 we fund it. But he has to do it every now and then. So that's one recurring need. It can be a recurring need for a salaried guy also because usko rent pay karna padta hai har month, and so anyway, that's the first thing. There's another 30% which is for some purchase of product or services. When I say product or services, the product can be a consumer durable. The services can be travel, leisure. It could be some other product also for his kids. Product and services, which is 40 plus 30, 70. The remaining 30% is half and half. Half is some emergency need.
Medical types.
Medical is one. He has to pay school fees. He has to immediately make some payment, etc., etc. He do it. The last 10-12% is almost he has to transfer the money to somebody. Some family member, he has taken the loan and he is paying back. We never get to know the end use, to be very frank. I mean, we capture it, the stated end use is I want to use it for some purchase or some payment, etc., etc. But they are usually to some vendor or something which can be called it part of their monthly expenses that they're paying.
Understood. Something for the viewers to understand here, I think, and this is from years and years of understanding businesses, distilling experiences and articulating it. Something you learn, of course, in your workplace. Consulting is a great place to do wherever you are. But then running a business for a long time is understanding the core of the business in a very simple way. So if you hear Ranveer talk about his business, he knows that he has a lending book of 3,400 crores across 1.1 crore consumers at an activity, so it's 3,400 rupees average per consumer, but only let's say 25% of them are active, is 12 to 13,000 rupees. And then there are three kinds of products, from short term, medium term to long term. How much of the customer sits in what part? And then, by the way, the four reasons why they're borrowing the money. This is something he makes it easy to understand now, but when you're running a large business with constant activity, to crystallize and to step back and understand the business in a most simplest way is a critical skill that most entrepreneurs need to learn, and this is something that I'm learning from you live. So, okay, I understood. So the other four is, and how do people discover you? Okay, how do people discover? So one is, of course, in the store, but in the store must be one of many ways in which these four kinds of products are being sold.
Yeah. So all my customer acquisition, right? I acquire close to around 7,000-8,000 customers every day, around 3 million customers in a year. There are three ways primarily. Number one, like many other people, I do digital marketing. So people, get to know me on Google, Facebook, bunch of other this thing. That contributes to almost around 30-35% of my acquisition. Okay. 50% happens through these merchants. I have online merchants as well, but online merchants share is a rather this thing one. I have close to around 300,000 merchants. They're put in specific places which are more credit. This is not as ubiquitous as the normal, the black and white QR code. That contributes to 50% of my. And the remaining last 15% is some combination of partnerships I've had with many, many aggregators, big aggregators, small aggregator, all combined together.
But 40% of your customers are, recurring needs business people, someone like a cement dealer or a tempo person or maybe a pharmacist. But they're not getting in touch with your funnel either on digital or at a merchant, right? Yeah. How are they coming into your?
Yeah. So the way again, the maths is slightly different here. What happens is, when I acquire a customer, they may have gotten into because they would have bought something and they may have a limit of a higher, whatever, need for a higher limit of say 20,000 as I mentioned. Almost 70% of them repeat with me. So after 45 days, they come and repeat. They repeat for different needs, different reasons. And then after that, after first cycle I'm talking about, cycle number 0, cycle 1, 70% repeat. After that, it is such a certain business that almost 82% of the people, you can almost run the geometric progression formula that so many people will take loan from you. Now, at any point in time, 9-10% of my customers are new customers. 91% are repeat customers.
That's amazing, right?
So, the other, myth which exists in this business, just because you're doing short term, you're always on a treadmill. Of course, one is in a treadmill, right? Because you have to work. But what is missed out is that the same customer, they actually come and repeat. 90% of my business has no treadmill involved. I mean, they just come and repeat. Of course, you have to do many things to ensure they remain sticky with you, etc., etc. So what happens is, once you have this 90 and 10, what I'm talking about at an overall 100% level, not only at a 10% level, where when they repeat, they will be using it for purchases for, as I said, product and services purchase. They will be using it for emergency need, event-based need, and so on and so forth. So that defines the full this thing.
Understood. I think this is mostly an app, or is like you have a call center, you have a physical sales?
100% app. No. So we have a sales people who go and put the QR code. They
But
never
no
interact.
shops, etc. No physical shops where you have like a Kissht set up like.
No, not at all. Not at all. So that's the, very rarely I've seen magic happening in India. But if you ask me, the whole act of, because it was completely unimaginable when we were starting. I have, as I said, the only customer, the face I remember is the first customer. And for this set of customers, I've never interacted with anybody. Nobody has interacted. We don't, of course, we talk to them more to understand, keep understanding. You have to just understand what the pulse is, what they want, etc., etc., but not a single interaction with any of them. So, they only on app.
That is such a counterintuitive thing, because you're saying 90%. So you started off by saying customer obsession. But customer obsession, in your view, is understanding the need of the consumer and solving for that in the most simplest, frictionless way. It does not mean genuinely like pandering to the consumer or getting to know the consumer beyond this. It is actually very specific, right? And then you are saying that 90% of your business comes from sticky repeats, which probably comes from understanding the consumer and delivering products that they want when they want it, on time, at the best rate. And that is what is actually creating a business. But there is no, in India, a lot of businesses are relationship driven, even banking. The reason why people go to banks, and it's like for a lot of older people, it's
there's a different connect.
You have a face, there's a relationship manager, there's someone you can talk to, you sit down, you have a cup of tea. And that relationship leads to a sale of products, you can deposit money with them, take a loan, etc., right? Insurance, etc. But in your case, you're saying customer obsession extreme, high stickiness, but completely digitized.